We're back.
We sure are.
Welcome, friends. I hope you're ready to fight after a week of just technical nightmares.
Yeah.
Also, getting right into the vibe check here. My office is different.
Mm-hmm. Part of your living room is now in the office.
Part of my living room is now in the office because I got a set that's a couch and a love seat from my sister because she moved out of her apartment in Boston and is back home now. And that stuff was almost brand new, so.
I thought it was brand new when you sent a picture of it.
Pretty much. So what's going on with you? I can see the Loaf Cat army has increased in number.
Yes. Do you see how many are there? 5, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And there's a couple more downstairs that I have to put the tails on.
Absolutely incredible. 10 out of 10.
Yep. It's it'll be complete at 24. I got stuff to make 24 of them, so.
All right, hell yeah.
Add 9 more to that. Yes. I did tell my class yesterday about how needy she is and how it's a full-time job trying to give her the attention she wants. She's offended. She's like, how dare you tell me?
Rude.
Yeah, how dare you say that about me to a bunch of strangers I don't know.
Understandable, I guess.
There we go. Footrest out.
Fancy. Anyway,
Yes.
But yeah, we're back. And speaking of telling people things in class, I feel like that's a good place to start with your vibe check. Class started. How's that going for you, bestie?
I had to train. It's like I have to become a whole different person. Like at the start of every school year, I'm like, oh my God, this is what I do for a living. Like this is part of my life.
Ooh,
I spend hours. Yeah, hours of my life every week I spend standing in front of rooms of people talking about stuff. And I'm like, I know I do that, but over the summer it's easy to forget.
Understandable.
And it's like I have to like awaken a personality that lies dormant over summer. Which I pretty much told one of my classes yesterday.
I love that for you. But that means that you have class stories now, which is always entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was just syllabus day, so although I did end one of my classes by, we'd gone over the syllabus and we'd started talking about the topic of the semester. And I was like, probably right about now you're asking yourself, isn't this syllabus day? Aren't we supposed to get out early? And to that I would say, you're right, bye. And that's just how I ended class. And they
all right, hell yeah.
They're like, okay. So that was fun.
That would have made me very happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have a very strange classroom where the projector points at a side wall instead of the front, so the students don't know where to look.
Ooh, don't like that.
Nope. I am switching out of that place, like, immediately.
Understandable. Can't blame you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this is also kind of a vibe check thing. I burned my first CD the other day.
Yeah, So I saw that where you put that in for today, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember you talking about burning the CD because I was like, wait, you have a CD drive?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it never occurred to me that it was the first CD you ever burned. That was the part that threw me. I was like, wait, I just hadn't thought about it. I thought maybe you would have done it as a kid or something, but it was literally your first one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you draw all over the disc? Did you put pretty drawings on it? I was like that part.
Not really, because the disc itself looks like a vinyl record, like a little 45.
Oh
But
man, it was time to be alive.
yeah, I know.
That wasn't a thing.
So no, I did not do that, but I did write down all the tracks and everything on the little piece of paper on the inside. And I burned another CD today.
Look at you.
Because I don't trust Spotify to not take away some of the more indie the like super indie things that I listen to, where it's like, yeah, they released one album in Sweden in fucking 1998 or whatever. And I'm like, I could see you all just yoinking that when somebody gets to like renew the copyright or whatever. So,
yep, that's why I like having the vinyl.
Yeah, and also like, I'm a whore for physical media anyway. So.
I did. So I have my students fill out note cards on the first day of class with just like basic info I need about them, what they want me to call them, stuff like that. And I would just ask them to provide like any piece of information about themselves. It doesn't matter what it is. That's like my attempt to start to, get to know them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And
I had a girl write that she collects CDs.
Nice.
That's a thing?
Oh God,
because like I get collecting vinyl because vinyl,
there's a whole subreddit for it.
But like vinyl, it does often sound different. It has that kind of warmer sound to it, and especially as it gets worn over time. And plus, then you get like all this big artwork and stuff like that, and it's really cool. CDs, they sound just like you're listening to digital because it's digital.
I mean,
you get the tiny little booklets.
Here's the thing, even if the booklets are smaller, you still get the little booklet to flip through. It is physical media, but it takes up less space and it's often a little cheaper than vinyl. I don't know. Just my guesses.
I think it's considerably cheaper than vinyl, isn't it?
I
think it's considerably cheaper than vinyl, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly. So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, the only CD that I have bought in the last, what year is this? 15 years probably, is this. And that's only because it's autographed and that was all I could get with the autographs on it.
Fair enough.
So I don't know what.
I think the last CD I bought was, again, just some like little independent demo where they're like, we're making them to order. If you want one, put your name in. I was like, okay. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think maybe there's a difference there that I grew up listening to CDs. And so like it probably feels retro to people who didn't use them, much like records feel retro to me.
See, here's the thing. It doesn't necessarily feel retro to me. It honestly doesn't feel retro to me like at all.
Yeah.
Because like,
but you're also like 8 years older than this girl who wrote this thing yesterday.
This is true. But like, yeah, there's every car in my family growing up had a CD player in it and stacks of CDs in like the side door pockets and things like that.
But it's not the same as like the way that I grew up where, first of all, I started out with cassettes. CDs weren't even a thing. Like,
yeah,
I think I got my first CD when I was like 11.
Cute.
And I didn't even have a CD player, but I was just so excited to have it.
I love that.
And then of course it became such a huge part of my life, especially like into high school when I got real into music and it became like my whole identity.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like the only way to listen to music. Eventually the illegal sites start popping up like Napster and LimeWire and stuff like that. Yeah. But for a while it was only CDs. we were reliant on them versus, yeah, maybe CDs were around, but they weren't your only means of like listening to music.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a different experience that maybe makes it feel, you know,
Oh, I'm sure.
different. To me, it's like CDs. I still got hundreds of those in my basement that I never bothered to get rid of.
Fair enough. And actually, speaking of CDs and music, I'm gonna hit everyone here with two quick music recommendations. One, check out Divine Grave, fucking awesome, and Crash Diet, which is like a Swedish like fucking sleaze metal band that I discovered within the last couple of days. And like they've been going since like 2005 or some shit, but like they've kind of it's the best feeling ever when you find a band that's really good, but they've plateaued. Like they've hit where they're gonna be. So like the concert, like, you know, they're not constantly trying to like scale up venue. It's not getting more expensive. They're where they are. It's like with Avatar and now with Crash Diet. It's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
I, however, do not recommend actual crash diets. Those are unhealthy.
No, yeah, horrible idea. Do not do that.
That's all I got.
Anyway, let's see. What else did I have up for today? No, wrong app. Yes. Okay. So we were kind of talking about this, or this came up in conversation the other day when we were just hanging out when you were playing Fallout. What do we think are the appropriate dimensions for a throw blanket?
I remember bringing this up in the context of the fact that I just sometimes get irrationally angry about little things and just feel the need to rant. And yes, throw blankets were very much on my mind. Because
I don't disagree.
Who decided that 60 inches, that's the standard throw blanket length? Like, sure, that's great for a child, but like,
yeah, I gotta
most
say,
adults, yeah,
a lot of them are very disappointing size-wise.
Yeah, like I just don't understand.
It needs to be longer because I want to be able to like tuck myself in and also have my feet covered.
Yeah, I think like the way they're picturing this is people just like sitting on the couch with a black blanket on and their legs covered.
Which
like,
I do that sometimes, and it's fine. I do it here sitting at this chair.
Yeah.
But that's not always what I need.
No, but I don't think that that's the case most of the time. I think most of the time you're like, I'm getting cozy on the couch. I'm going to snuggle up. It's chilly.
Yeah, okay, point taken.
And most adults, that's just not going to be enough. I think the blanket should be big enough to cover your entire body head to toe.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, here's the thing. Someone's inevitably going to be in the comments being like, oh, but I'm like 6 foot, whatever. That's your problem, not mine.
It should cover your whole body head to toe. So you need a blanket the length of your body. They should come in different sizes.
That's also true, but I will say sometimes like that would fuck with like the print on something.
They can work ways around that.
Which they definitely can. So it's more of a minor speed bump than an actual problem.
Yeah. They just don't want to try. And I can't be the only person who's like super annoyed by this, but I think it's one of the things like we buy the too small throw blankets because what are the other options? So they can just keep making them because we're buying them because there aren't any other options.
Yeah, okay. I'll just incorporate that into my worldview.
Which is exactly why.
But then here's another point that we brought up. So then your thoughts on the Big Blanket Company, which makes like gigantic fucking blankets. You think that's too much?
It's excessive. Do you know how big they are?
I know that there's options.
They have, the last thing I Googled on my phone was shiny Psyduck.
Nice.
I like being able to see that.
Pokemon Master Brooks, hard at work.
What?
I said Pokemon Master Brooks, hard at work. Also, look at this cute little mug that my mom brought me back from Maine.
What does it say? I can't read that.
It Terrace by the Sea in Ogunquit. That's the little resort that my family goes to.
That's nice. Let's see. So I'll look at their original blanket.
What do we got?
10 by 10.
Feet?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's huge.
Incredible.
Ooh.
See, I don't think that's excessive because I like to burrito myself to no end. Like in the colder months.
10 feet one way is one thing, but square?
You can share then.
A lot.
What if you want to burrito yourself? What if you want to burrito yourself with your lover?
That sounds complicated.
Also, what if you're in a polycule? And you all want to share a blanket?
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I guess if you want to share a blanket with multiple people, you'd have to have a big one, but...
Checkmate.
That's such a specific circumstance that I don't think
many people a serial monogamist.
I would say probably a more likely argument would be like a parent with multiple small children, because they tend to cling to their parents.
I forgot that people do that.
Yeah, that's a more common experience likely for people. They do have an 8x8 too.
Do you think that's too much?
Less too much, but still a bit much, because, you know, that's like...
I feel like the 8x8 is perfect.
I have to think about how tall I am. That's still more than 2.5 feet taller than I am.
But then you can do the thing where you like tuck it under your feet.
Yes. It's too wide, I guess, is more the thing. Because that's just going to be a lot of extra blanket. I can imagine myself snuggling up in one of these blankets on the couch and then being like, oh, I'm thirsty. I better get up to get a drink. And then being trapped like a quicksand. Like just being stuck in there, just clawing, trying to find my way out of this blanket as it eats me alive in fabric.
I suppose that is a possibility.
It's just, it's too much. Though I do see they restocked some of the patterns they've been sold out of for a while, so that's pretty nice. Ooh, dinosaurs.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because I have looked at them on multiple occasions. Ooh, does this glows in the dark.
That's
not me.
Fun.
I'm not
here's the thing.
Blankets.
I have this one blanket that probably isn't supposed to be a throw blanket. Like I think it's supposed to be like one of those like kind of plush microfibery blankets for like a bed that you like layer like under like beneath like a duvet or something.
Yep.
But I just use it just like when I'm out chilling on the couch or whatever. And that one is good for like, again, cover my entire body, watch a movie on the couch, chilling, etc. But my favorite throw blanket that I have in my house is my Opus Eponymous one. And that's like the standard size. And that one I love for when I'm like sit like in this chair. I'll put the footrest out and then put that over my legs because I want to be cozy while I'm gaming in the winter. And it's delightful. So I'm not saying that the standard throw blanket has no place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the blanket that I used when I was there last, right? You're talking about the blanket?
Yes, that is the blanket.
Yeah.
Girl, help. My brain is so rotten.
I put it away, but I have a blanket that I knitted that I use when I'm sitting here. Because it's round and it's really can't be used in any other context except as a lap blanket.
Yeah, okay, that tracks.
It was just cool looking. I was like, this is so impractical. How am I gonna
This is so tangential just because I said something about my brain being rotten. And this has this isn't relevant to anybody who's watching. This is only relevant to you and I. But today Zach sent me something on Twitter where it was like it was a screenshot of like someone's Minecraft game. And somebody had said my illegitimate son just showed me a picture of his panda farm. Like they're farming the panda mob in Minecraft. Don't know why.
Oh,
but
okay.
I saw that post, did not look at who sent it or just assumed that it was sent in my ghost group chat on Twitter, responded Imperator talking about Copia, and then realized like half an hour later who I had said that to. And I was just like, he has no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
Just picture him sitting there looking at his phone.
And that just, again, the fact that I saw that, immediately thought that it was in the ghost group chat and responded accordingly with a hyper specific like fandom in joke. Girl, help. Is the conclusion to that story.
Got it.
Anyway.
So back to big blankets. Expert segues here. So this is exactly
the way I worded it in the document was like, what are the quote unquote appropriate dimensions for a throw blanket? But I actually really do like your idea of like, there should be options. Because what if you are fucking 6'5"?
Yeah. Oh man. What a miserable existence in a lot of ways. Because the world is just not built for you at that height.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is exactly why. So I have a blanket that lives on my couch because I am perpetually cold. Even this time of year, I'm like, no matter what I put the AC on.
I've been to your apartment.
Yeah. So the blanket that lives on my couch is a twin-sized blanket. Like for a twin-sized bed. Because I was just looking up, I was like, what were the dimensions on that? So it is 5 feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like a little over 6.5 feet long. It's great.
That feels pretty solid. I have the default blanket that I always use when I stay at your apartment. It's the knot blanket.
Yeah,
I feel like that one is the perfect length.
It's 6 feet.
At least for me. I love it.
Yeah, that blanket is so old. Oh my god. My college roommate made it for me for Christmas. I want to say 05. But I think you used my twin-size blanket last time you were here, that blue one, with like a blue tie-dye on it.
It's possible.
Pretty sure you did. Yeah, pretty sure you did.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to say about this?
Like many things in life, I could complain about the size of a throw blanket for 3 solid hours if you needed me to.
I mean,
but I don't think there's anything.
Hit all of your complaints. The floor can still be yours. I don't care how much time it takes.
I can still complain. I'd start going to tangents about blankets in general and the materials that they're made out of. And
oh my god, do you remember when I was talking about the blanket that fucking sucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bad texture.
Uh-huh.
Don't like it.
I feel like they don't really make blankets like that so much anymore.
Yeah, like the old wool blanket, because it's not comfortable. And there was a time when actually staying warm was a little more important than it not being scratchy.
Yes. But it's just like that same point. It's like if they only ever offer us scratchy blankets, what can we do? We have to purchase the scratchy blankets. But now there are choices.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not. What are your thoughts on those blankets that are like, how do I fucking describe this shit? It's like they're woven and they make a picture and they're usually pretty heavy because there's a bunch of colors.
Woven, they make a picture. Oh, I think I know what you mean. They often have like sort of tassel-y endings.
Yes. What are your thoughts on those?
Don't like them.
I really do like them.
I haven't seen one of those in a really long time. I don't know.
I'm fucking mad about this. Sleep Token did one of those where it was the Take Me Back to Eden cover and it sold out and they like almost never restock anything. So Jesus Christ, I'm knocking my setup over in my anger here. But I know that I'm like most likely never gonna get it. And that pisses me off. But I actually really like those. Something about like the weight of them I find very satisfying. And also they're usually pretty warm because it is a bunch of like all the like different colored like fibers layered together.
I mean, I like a blanket with weight, but they're just not that soft. I want a cozy blanket.
Yeah, I suppose.
I love a heavy blanket. That's why I have a weighted blanket. But it's not heavy enough.
No, it's not. I need I need like another weighted blanket. I need my soul to be crushed back into my body.
I need a blanket that requires help to get it off of me.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I
need.
want. I wonder if
Um,
I could make one like that because they sell like the blanket weights at Joann.
have you seen people making
Buckets of
weighted
them.
blankets with like pony beads? Like this shit?
Yes, but I would think that they're not as heavy. You know, it would require more.
Yeah, I guess so. Have you seen that guy who made a blanket out of chainmail?
I don't believe so.
Some dude on Twitter made a blanket out of like just made a chainmail blanket and was like, "This is great for summer."
That is a lot. That's too much effort. You know, you and I, we are chainmail experts because of that one
Oh
time.
yes, that one time that we made a single length of chainmail.
I have mine on one of my bookshelves up here somewhere. This little
I
piece of chainmail I
used
made.
mine as a zipper pull on one of my bags.
Nice. Yes, I remember finishing our little chainmail workshop and thinking like, this is cool. I'm gonna do this all the time. Looking up like stuff like the little jump rings to make it,
And then I just didn't.
and then just forgetting about it entirely because
I mean, could I see myself getting back into it? Yeah, probably.
yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it, but what are you gonna make that you're actually gonna use? You know?
I mean, I could find a use for a chainmail bikini, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be something where like you put the investment into all the jump rings and the tools and stuff, and then you'll make like one or two things, and then you're like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Or we could just make chainmail things to sell. That's
That
what
is
it
an
always
option.
comes back to. Yeah.
Yep. Always comes back to the table. Anyway. So this one you sent this to me a while ago and I stumbled across it because I was looking for something in our messages. I don't remember what
Yeah.
it was, but I'll have the picture linked in the description of this episode when it goes up for everybody. When a bag has multiple zippers, where do you want them to be closed on the bag? Because according to the person who made this post, they said that it always has to be like together in the middle, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
Nor do I. But let me tell you, when I when I looked at the content for last week, because this was going to be on last week before we canceled, I looked at it and I looked at the picture and I was like, oh, wild. How do you know Michael Ken?
Because you sent it to me, Bessie.
I was like, what a coincidence. He's a magician.
Fun.
Because I was like, I did all the activities councils and stuff when I was in college, and so that's how I had met him.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he's a magician. So he does have like a bunch of followers. So I was like, what are the odds that you would know who this random college magician is?
Mm. Yeah, no.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't necessarily agree.
I don't either.
Because like sometimes suitcases have that, like they lock in.
Yeah.
So like that would make sense, having to be closed in like the middle or wherever on the bag the little
like certain small
is where they click in. I wasn't gonna say it, but you did. It's legal. Anyway, so yeah, situations like that. One, I feel like you kind of quote unquote don't have a choice, but like
yeah,
because that's where it's precisely made for the zippers to go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For like other things, like my Kanken bag has 2 zippers and they have to be all the way on one side together.
Your what?
My Kanken bag, my little backpack.
Oh.
The brand name, sorry. But yeah, they always have to be all the way to one side together.
Mm-hmm.
And it bothers me if they aren't.
Yeah, it really depends on the bag.
Because it would feel weird to have it in the middle on top of the backpack.
Yeah, like the backpack that I take for work has two zippers. I always have to zip them not only to the side but the same side every time.
Yep.
Otherwise I will
What?
confuse myself.
That is what I do. So yeah, I think he has a point, but only in some circumstances.
Yeah. Which it's weird because there are certain things that I always zip on the same side, like my backpack. But then there are
Mhm.
other things where there's no rhyme or reason to it, and I just confuse myself. Like I use the packing cubes when I go places, and those have two zippers.
Oh yeah.
And so I always zip them to one side or the other, but it's completely inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
So I never zip them to just the middle. It's always one side, but I don't, it's just random, which is very weird to me that I get annoyed with myself. Like, where's the,
Sometimes here's the thing. I don't make sense to myself either. Like there are sometimes where I'm so rigid about so many things.
Yeah.
But then in other circumstances, everyone's like, "Oh my god, like I can't understand why you're so chill about XYZ thing when you're the way that you are about others." And I'm like, I just am.
Like-
I don't know.
like how you don't believe in timing things in the kitchen.
No, I don't. Not even a little bit. And yet, I am the way that I am.
And that's why I sent you that message the other day. I thought you'd appreciate that I was making food just based on vibes. I just
Hell
threw
yeah.
a bunch of stuff
And
in there.
also
I was
just
like,
the way that I am about like making plans for things, except when I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine.
yeah, I think that's common for a lot of people though. Like there are certain things that we just want a particular way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's stuff it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the situations where middle zipping makes the most sense is when you're talking about something that is large. So,
Oh, you know what I was thinking? Garment bag. Like I know sometimes they usually have the one up the center, but if it wasn't on the sides thing.
yeah, not just the center. Yeah. But I was thinking about, I have like these under bed bags that like, they're these big rectangles, the length of my queen size bed. They have like little handles so you can pull them out. But they're really wide because again, they're the width of the bed. So if you have it zipped to one side, but you need an item that's on the other side of the bag.
Yeah, no,
that's
you got to go
silly.
middle top.
Yeah. So you got to zip it in the middle. That way you can easily unzip to whatever side for the thing that you need.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one circumstance where I can think of where I'd go with the middle zipper. And here's the thing.
I'm trying to think if there's really anything where I would go middle zipper that isn't a situation where it has the little thing for the zipper to click into.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty specific circumstance that I feel like it needs to be. And then it bothers me if I don't have it exactly in the middle too. That's the thing. Because at least in those ones that have the things that it clicks into, you know exactly where to zip it to.
Yep.
But if you're doing it with no guide like that, you're like, wait, is that, oh, it's a little to that way. Let me try to like move it a couple inches. No, it's stupid.
Yeah, which like bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So I am for the most part team all the way to whatever side is most convenient, and then that's the only way you ever do it.
Yes, which I wish I could get myself to do that on the packing cubes.
Do it next time you come here.
I don't know what it is. It's, well, I do know what it is. Like when I am mentally done with a thing, I give it so little thought. Like,
damn, what's that like?
Well, like what I mean by that is if I'm done packing one of my packing cubes, I'm like, all right, I'm done with that. Right. And it's zip it up, throw it in a bag. And I just don't think about what I'm doing. Okay. I do the same thing like when I'm doing knitting stuff. So like if I need to thread a needle to like sew up and close one of my loaf cats. Mm-hmm. So I put it on the yarn on the thing and I sew it through and I pull it tight. I'm done with that needle now. I don't know what I do with it. Like I put zero thought into where I put that down. And so when I go to pick it up again a few minutes later to sew the tail on, I'm like, where did I put that me of, 3 minutes ago? have no idea.
I didn't realize Nyx was hiding behind your Lego
Yeah,
flowers.
she was sleeping back there. Yep, she was
Aw.
napping.
Yeah, Oliver has been having fun with this. Wait, hold on. I think you might be able to see him if I move my chair a little bit. Hold on.
It probably helps him get in that window. Oh yeah, a little bit. I see that face. He's like, no, you don't.
Because I had to move that shelf, so it's created this perfect little spot that he's very much taken a liking to hiding in the past couple days.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of weirding me out because I'm so used to seeing that couch with the exact pillow configuration in your living room that it looks like you just cut out a chunk of your living room and put it in the background.
Sorry.
That's what it looks like to me. It's very weird. Does he know that his reserved spot has moved?
He was chilling on the couch a little bit earlier today, but I don't know. He seems to really like that little pocket that's been created.
Oh yeah.
And also he's still like, despite the fact that this is there, he did still take a nap on my legs while I was gaming earlier. So
yes, I saw the picture.
Nice to know I'm still needed.
Cats love new things, even if it's old things that just moved. Still new.
Yep. So I'm wondering if he's gonna because he keeps coming up and sniffing it a little bit. He's like, I know this, but it's not where it used to be.
They become very confused.
If he's gonna start sitting in the same corner once his single brain cell computes the fact that a piece of furniture has moved. My special little boy. But that remains to be seen.
Yes.
Anyway, do we have anything else to say about any of our previous topics, or frankly about literally anything before we head into the worsening?
Not really, though you mentioning the single brain cell reminds me of one of my favorite activities of the first day of classes, which is introducing even more people to Harley via picture.
Incredible.
And talking about his singular brain cell. And so, I was doing that in one of my classes, and this girl raises her hand, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. People don't usually raise their hand when I'm doing my introduction, I'm like, hey, what's... She's like, I have a gecko, and it's the same thing. He is.
Yeah, reptiles. They are very not smart.
Yeah, because I had used the phrase when I was introducing him, saying something along the lines of, he is the dumbest thing on the planet, but I love him to no end. And she was like, mine is also the dumbest thing, and I love him to no end. Yep, that's how it works.
Elphaba, Ellie shedded the other day, so she's now a very shiny stupid noodle.
Ooh, I love a shiny noodle.
So there's that, but that's really kind of the only thing that's going on with her. She does just about nothing.
I did go to get some more meat today, and the girl who works at Country Max was walking around with a beardy on her shoulder, and he was beautiful. He was an orange boy. And I couldn't help it. I just kept talking to him. I was like, you are so beautiful. She's like, yes, he is.
Oh my God, I love it.
So jealous of you. I want him.
All right. Well, with that being said, now we reflect on how much worse we've become.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Listen, cue ball, you're only making it worse.
Thanks, that even makes it worse.
It's worse than you know.
It usually is.
I think that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
That's the worst goodbye I've ever heard. And you stole it from a movie.
How marvelous.
Well, bestie, what do we got?
Me?
You.
I don't know why I said that like I was so shocked.
The only other person on the podcast. We don't even have a producer with us today. It's all on me, baby.
How am I worse? Let me think. I don't think I have a lot of the usual types of stuff. I continued watching anime. I had multiple students come to my office just to ask me about anime yesterday before I even had class.
I'm not gonna lie, that counts. that counts, that you are becoming the designated weeb on a college campus.
Well, technically, neither of them came by for that explicit purpose, but I had bought these prints. This guy who makes like drawings with pen at Nickel City Comic Con last summer, and I had framed them, but I was like, I have nowhere to put these things. And so I'd taken them to campus and completely forgotten they were there. And so I decided to put them up last week.
Mhm.
And 3 out of 4 of them are anime, because there's a drawing of Ryuk,
Nice.
and there's a drawing of Inosuke, and one
Wonderful.
of Chainsaw Man. So Denji as Chainsaw Man. The other one is a picture
Hell
of Link
yes.
from Zelda. And so they definitely, when girl walked in, she was like, "Oh, I just wanted to stop in and say, hey, hope you had a nice summer." And then she stops and she's like, "Do you like Jujutsu Kaisen?"
Nice.
And my response was, I don't care that he's a fictional character. I'm going to marry Gojo one day.
I can't even blame you.
And she proceeded to tell me how a friend of hers had gone to Japan over the summer and brought her back an incredibly detailed figure of Satoru Gojo. And she was talking about like how it had a 6-pack. It seems sort of unnecessary.
So valid.
Yeah. So I had multiple conversations about anime yesterday. And normally on the first day of class, I introduce myself and with just like what I call my 2 main hobbies of knitting and running. But this time I was like, you know what? I'm just going to add a few honorable mentions on there just to see if they like resonate with anyone. We can bond. So I put 3D printing on there.
Nice.
And then I put video games. I mentioned the Switch and the PC.
Love it.
And then I mentioned anime and Comic-Cons.
Hell yes. And what sort of response did we get?
Yeah, man, a bunch of nerds. Everybody has their nerd thing. And so they were like, and then so when they filled out their cards, a lot of them were writing about like their favorite anime and recommending video games and stuff like that.
Nice.
So
Oh my God, that's
fun.
so awesome.
But there was a girl who came up to me after my first class, just so excited. She was like, "Do you play Animal Crossing?" Oh yeah, that has to fit into the worst thing. And so I told her, I was like, I haven't, but I did actually buy the game a couple of weeks ago, which I never told you.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I have the game, I just haven't played it. And I told her that, and she was like, "Oh my God, when you start it, we're gonna have to talk about it." She was just so excited.
Oh
And
my God, I love it.
I was like, "This is fantastic. I'm glad I mentioned these things on the first day, because now everybody about
There
their
you
nerd
go.
thing is so excited." I'm like, yeah. I know some of you haven't been to my office yet, and you're gonna have a great time.
Hell
Because
yes, that is
this stuff keeps
super
expanding.
fun.
Yeah.
I
So
dig
that's
it.
good. Yeah. Yeah, I made a purchase a couple of weeks ago now. I got one of those Dyson cordless vacuums.
Oh, nice. I fucking love mine, dude.
Yes.
That
Because
thing is a game changer on the stairs, man.
yeah, and I mean that's part of it. I have a regular Dyson vacuum, but I had some issues with it that seemed to be solved by the cordless.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that, and while I was getting that, I was like, well, I might as well grab, Animal Crossing. I was at Best Buy, and you might remember me referencing before, maybe not. There's a brand called Club Mochi Mochi, and
Yes.
because I said I wanted a Magikarp that was like that. So they sell some of them at Best Buy, and I've looked at them so many times, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get one because I've been looking at these things for years. And I got it's a Kirby, but it's floating Kirby. So
Oh,
It's-
wait, you can't see it. It's like my little
Yeah,
Kirby
yeah.
keychain that's hanging
Yeah.
from my curtain rod.
yeah, it's in the other room. I should have brought it in with me, but
That's
it's
so
like
cute.
it's nice. It's got like a nice weight to it, and it's so soft, and I love it so much. So that was
That's
my
awesome.
purchase
I
was
love
there.
it.
Yeah, but I would say one way that I have gotten, I'm going to go ahead and say annoying, is I got a Soda Stream, which is
Okay.
Another thing
I'm
that I've been-
fascinated by this because you don't like sparkling water.
well, it's not just for sparkling water because you can put any
I mean,
flavors
yeah.
in it once you sparkle the water. But I've been looking at them for years, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna finally get one. Because yeah, you can get like the drops to make the sparkling water, but then you can make soda with it because you get the syrup. And so I got my Soda Stream, and I got a bunch of bottles, and I got a bunch of flavors, and I just can't stop. And I have been drinking sparkling water. And if you remember, last week, when we had to cancel, I said, oh, I'll have to save my rants for next week, but I might not be as fired up. It was going to be about sparkling water. Because this is how my rant was going to begin, because we were going to do the vibe check, and I had this in my head
Okay.
that I was going to say, I need you, as a person who regularly drinks sparkling water, to come to my home and drink the sparkling water that I'm making and tell me if it's supposed to taste like garbage like that or not. Because I don't know if it's regular garbage sparkling water or if I'm doing a bad job because I don't like sparkling water.
Okay. One, I will do that.
Yeah, I mean, because I got some of they make like the bubbly drops, you know, that brand bubbly.
Yeah.
So I have like 7 different flavors, and some of them I like more than others. But I think I'm adjusting to it. I think I'm getting used to it because I like that I can
Okay.
choose the amount of bubbles and the amount of flavor.
So
So
what a time to be alive.
yeah, but I'm actually currently drinking. They make like a strawberry lemonade. It's not strawberry lemonade. Strawberry watermelon mix for the. So that's what I'm currently drinking.
Fun.
It's a problem. I can't stop, and I can't stop talking about it.
I'm not judging.
I took
Makes you feel any
a
better?
bottle. I took a bottle of it with me to campus last week during our department retreat, and I found out multiple colleagues also have Soda Streams, and then we started talking about our Soda Streams.
Sure.
So it's a whole thing. It's like
I would
a
say
little-
you've done a good job of getting worse since last episode.
Yeah, I'd say so. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't really know if I have anything particularly groundbreaking other than like one, the Fallout brain rot continues. I continue to be playing my way through Far Harbor, and I'm having a great time. Going to see Steel Panther on Sunday, which is gonna be a fun time, I think. Just because they're as ridiculous as they are. They're like a parody, like glam hair metal band. But they're actually like very competent musicians. It's all just like ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I feel like I had something else and it's just brain smooth. What the?
I was going to
bothering
start
me.
naming things that you enjoy as general categories, but I don't know if that's helpful.
Well, I mean, again, the ghost brain rot example that I provided, it simply never ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I've started
Sure.
writing tag team fan fiction.
Oh,
So that's super fun.
okay. Was that it that you were trying to remember?
I do believe it was.
Okay. Excellent.
So
For some reason, it would have bothered me if you couldn't remember. And so I was going to keep asking you stuff. But if that was it.
I appreciate that. But yeah, that's a really fucking great time. And this is just a message to anybody who's in fandom and sometimes has those moments where they're like, I'm being too cringe. This is too self-indulgent. It never is. And 99% of the time, there is someone else out there who is also waiting for someone who is waiting for another person to be embarrassingly self-indulgent with about a thing.
Yeah.
Find that person. You will have a great time.
And isn't that kind of the point? It's supposed to be fun. And if
Yes.
being self-indulgent is fun,
Do
Go
not
for it,
kill the part of you that is cringe. Kill the part of you that cringes.
yeah. No, I'm sure I made many people cringe in class yesterday.
Nice. I think that's really kind of it. Do we
Yeah,
have
I did
anything
do a-
coming up that we feel needs to be announced? We're doing more Fallout on our stream on the Fighting with Friends Twitch channel tomorrow night.
August 29th.
I don't know what we're doing for September.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out.
We do have to figure that out, but you will be told when we do.
Did we
And,
mention the Saturday night thing?
Oh yeah, new show, new random freeform occasional show here on Big Dumb Monsters Network, starting up this Saturday, Drunk and Disorderly, which I believe is for the first episode just going to be Arthur and Chris go to the bar, they enjoy the bar, and then they come back and start streaming. So if anyone wants something to do on a Saturday night, you can watch those two. I wish I could join them, but I have work in the morning.
I really hope they actually do karaoke and sing Pink Pony Club. I really want that to be a thing.
If I'm so sad that I'm missing that. Oh, it's a tragedy.
Yeah, I'll probably at least watch and
Oh, God,
harass them via chat. Yeah.
As you should. Regrettable reviews this coming Tuesday. We're talking about A Boy and His Dog, which I have yet to watch, and I think that's really it for the time being. Yeah. We got anything else coming up we can think of?
Not anytime soon. Although it seems like part of, if not the whole network, is going to see Gogo Bordello in a couple weeks.
Hell yes. God, that's going to be so much fucking fun.
Oh god, I'm so excited.
I'm very excited for. Yeah, I do have a mini gauntlet of shows coming up that I'm excited for because it's Steel Panther September 1st, Gogo Bordello September 10th, and then Powerwolf September 13th. So that's going to be a real good time. And then I have a couple more things that I'm going to after that, which is even more exciting, but that's more spread out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Things are filling up.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
All right. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back again next week for more chaos. We'll see you then. Adios. And now... This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Catch us live on Twitch every Wednesday and Thursday, and for ad-free live broadcasts of the show, you can subscribe to our Twitch channels or consider donating to our Patreon for ad-free access to our entire library of past episodes and streams, as well as fun bonus content. Fighting with Friends is a member of the Big Dumb Monsters podcast network. Check out the links in the description for more episodes from us and from all of the shows on the network. Thanks for listening!